News from Telangana. Well, it's a cash seizure yet again, and this comes just weeks ahead of crucial elections. Now, in just 9 days, a record of 165 crore rupees worth of currency, gold and precious metals, liquor, freebies, and also narcotic substances worth 8 crores have been seized in Telangana. In the entire 2 months, when Model Code of Conduct was in effect in the run-up to assembly elections in 2018, it was rupees 128 crores, and that was the highest in any state in the country. Uma Sudhir is now live with us. Suma, of course, in the run-up to elections, crucial state elections are just weeks away now, and these cash seizures, in a sense, very common when it comes to Telangana, because we know the kind of money that actually is pumped into elections, particularly in a state like Telangana.
Yes, indeed, Vedant, you spoke about 165 crores, but I've got an update after that. Just in the last 24 hours, there has been 78 crore additional amount of whether it is cash in the form of currency or gold and other precious metals, liquor, as well as ganja and other freebies as well. So the number has gone up from the 165 crore that we are talking about just this morning to 243 crores now, and that's the kind of scale of money flow that we are seeing in Telangana. You rightly pointed out that 128 crores was a seizure in 2018, and that was in fact the highest anywhere in the country. And if you were to see 2014, it was about 78 crore, which means that whether it is demonetization or whether it is the pandemic, the amount of black money that seems to be doing the rounds is certainly not gone down. If at all, it has only increased multiple times more, I must point out. In fact, I spoke to Mr. Vikas Raj, who is the Chief Electoral Officer of Telangana, to ask him what exactly explains this kind of a jump, because they spoke about huge number of checkposts, whether it's only the vigilance or of course there is going to be much more, because a lot more is at stake and people seem to be having a lot of money stashed away. But let's listen into what Mr. Vikas Raj had to say.
Telangana has seen big spending during elections or in the run-up to the elections. Last time also, I think it was top of the heap, 128 crore rupees. And here already within 9 days of, or 10 days, less than 10 days of the election code coming into effect, you have 169 crores. Tell us the breakup in terms of currency and liquor and drugs as well, and the gold and precious metals.
Yeah, just a moment. The numbers basically, as far as the cash is concerned, is about 77.9 crores. Liquor is about 9 crores. Drugs is about 7.56 crores. Gold, silver, other ornaments, etc. is about 63 crores. And freebies basically is about 8.6 crores.
This drugs is another very interesting segment that we are talking about. I can understand that there is a lot of vigilance and checking, and therefore the drugs getting caught. But have drugs also become a way of inducing voters?
See, the very fact that it is flowing around means that it is being used by somebody. Specifically, how much of it is being used actually for the inducement is something we will need to see, but I am sure that if people are taking the risk of moving these things during the time when it is being very clearly told that they should not be doing it, means that definitely some of it is going into it.
There is a talk that big amount of money possibly is coming from Karnataka to Telangana. Allegations are being made by political parties and leaders. Is there any indication for the Election Commission to believe that something like that, some kind of a movement like that is happening from any of the neighboring states?
See, we have put about 90 checkposts on our own borders. We have 4 border states. We have put almost 90 checkposts. This will increase depending upon which side the pressure is coming from. Similarly, based on the instructions of the Commission, the other states have also been asked to put the checkposts on the other side of the border. So definitely there is control at the border. So movement from the border is definitely not an easy thing, and basically whatever seizures etc. that we are seeing now, Of course, it definitely some of it is coming from the roads. It could be from the border checkpost. It could also be from the static surveillance teams that we have, which are there at the constituency borders, at the district borders. So all these things put together, I don't clearly see a movement pattern as of now, but definitely we know the routes which were identified, based on which we were expecting the drugs etc. to be moving, liquor, drugs etc. to be moving. So definitely there is more vigilance on the places where the expectation of movement of any of these 4-5 things is there.
Very obviously now, since India is big on digital money, that is the route through which maximum perhaps distribution is going to happen, would be the surmise. What kind of measures, or how do you actually track something like this? Does that become more tough?
See, this has been on the mind of the Commission for quite some time now, because even during last by-election etc. there were complaints that money is being moved in the digital route, single account to many account and all these things. So there was a lot of discussion done at the national level also by the ECI, and basically what has been finally found is all these digital accounts are basically linked with the bank. So ultimately the money does move from the bank. So as long as the bank accounts are being monitored, we know where the money is going from. So to that extent the data is being collected from all the banks within the state, the lead bank managers and RBI. All the banks are on board on this, so they are giving details of which banks, which account more of this movement is there. Similarly, which area more movement of cash is there. So these are things that are being monitored by the income tax department. The data is coming from all these sources. It could be from the even including the cooperative banks etc. So that data is definitely coming, and basically once we see which accounts it is moving from, it includes the digital movement also.
Is artificial intelligence and technology like that also being put to use during these elections for your work?
Of course. All this data is being collated. There is a software that has been developed by the ECI, and based on all this data coming together, actionable points are being drawn out, and which area more surveillance needs to be done, which accounts need to be looked at, who are the people behind these accounts. And I mean, this is as far as cash is concerned, but if we look at even the other things like the movement of liquor and even movement of drugs, so NCB is also on board. The state also has its own narcotic control department. So the data that is coming from these people is also being collated, not only to identify the routes from which it is coming, but also to identify the people who are behind this. So both this type of intelligence is being gathered.
Okay. So big seizures happening, but the Election Commission certainly saying that they have their eyes and people on the ground to be able to monitor and control illegal movement of these inducements. In Hyderabad, with camera person Nagraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.